so much. Thank you so much. But whoa, it's been quite a week in our country. And of course, first of all, we have to say that our thoughts and our prayers are with the people in Los Angeles. The earthquake, of course, was a terrible disaster. And yet, when you think about it, as terrible as it was, it only knocked the Bobbit trial off the front page for 2 days. Not guilty, by the way. How do we feel about that? All right, okay. Oh, no, hey, save it for Geraldo. It's all right, anyway. Anyway, I believe, it just shows we have our priorities straight in the country. And they're interesting, speaking of legal issues, there was another very interesting legal story closer to home this week. It turns out that the psychology department at the University of Washington has been playing fast and loose with the grant money that comes in. Someone discovered that they've been telling the government that they were buying computers and lab rats with the money, but when no one was looking, they were using all the money for other stuff, And I think what tipped off the government was when they hired a plane to fly over Husky Stadium, pulling a sign that said, "Psychology is a real major," which was When some of the professors got caught, they said that they took the money on purpose because they were running an experiment to see how the government would react to it. They found the government experienced feelings of loss and anger. If the government comes and sees them once a week for about a year, they can maybe work it out. And to me, the irony of it all, the irony is that they didn't really need to take the money. They could have raised all the money they needed by charging sophomores admission to human sexuality class on film day. When I was there, that's the way it worked. But anyway, now the whole thing is that now all the psychological studies at the UW that they do are being examined to see if the expense is justified. And they've uncovered a lot of really questionable studies that have been funded. We thought you might be interested in a few. For example, look at this, $7,500 to study what happens if you put a bunch of Fidelts in a maze. I mean, is that justified? I don't know. Look at this, and $84,000 to study what it's like to suddenly get $84,000. What is that? I don't know. Look at this, $26,000 to study which is smarter, a lab rat or Geraldo Rivera. I don't know. To me, look at this, $15,000 to, the ongoing study of the effect of giving good grades on psychology professors' sex lives. And finally, $18,500 for the ongoing tastes great, less filling study, which I think, is that justified? It's just shocking. Anyway. Also, Tonya Harding, of course, I guess will always be in the headlines for the foreseeable future, and which is putting a lot of emphasis on the Winter Olympics. It's put them in the spotlight. But you realize that there is another Olympics closer to home that's just as exciting. Take a look.